If I were to tell you that this fall Apple announced their new iPhone and its short list of features included a 6.4-inch Super AMOLED display, an octa-core processor, 8 gigs of internal memory, 512 gigs of storage expandable up to 1 terabyte, a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, fast wired and wireless charging, oh, and they decided to bring back the headphone jack, what would your reaction be? Mine, honestly, would probably be that was the best smartphone of 2018. Samsung calls it the Note 9. Hey guys, Taylor Moore here. This weekend, I had the chance to hang out with my buddy Andru Edwards, and we got a chance to look at the new Galaxy Note 9. Now, that whole list that I just shared isn't quite comprehensive, but at least gives you an idea of why this phone had me curious. With every new phone release that hits the market, there's always that internet buzz that just kind of swirls of people saying this could have been the perfect phone if it had a bigger battery, if it didn't get rid of the headphone jack, if it had more internal storage, if it didn't catch fire. And Samsung seemed to have listened. Now, I need to applaud them for not necessarily coming out with a radically new design, something like we expect we might see with the S10, with maybe a thumbprint reader under the screen and perhaps 5G network compatibility. But instead, they came out with a new phone that I would describe as a well-thought-out refinement. It's chock full of what I would call strategically chosen new features, as it does kind of sit between new innovation cycles. The biggest of these features right off the bat is the 4,000 milliamp hour battery compared to the 3,300 milliamp hour battery on the Note 8. To put this in comparison, the iPhone X has a 2,700 milliamp hour battery. It's 48% bigger than that. It's a really big battery. Combined with a faster, more efficient processor, Samsung's actually toting multi-day use off of a single charge, which has kind of become the holy grail of smartphones these days, and no one's quite gotten there. It's gonna be interesting to see how that pans out. I will make sure to test that in my full review. The second of these features is a far more useful pen. Now, I've never really been a pen guy, I've never had a phone that has a pen, but the inclusion of Bluetooth LE to give it a 30-foot range and added customized button functionality based on the app you're using makes it particularly practical, especially for photographers. With a long button press, you can activate the camera, double tap to switch to the selfie cam, and a single tap to take a picture. This really just scratches the surface though in terms of customizability and programmability based on whatever app you're in. Oh, and the pen fully charges in under 1 minute just by putting it back in the phone. Amazing. Now, I don't know if that means it only lasts a minute, but it'll charge quick at least. Expandable storage plus the max internal storage of 512 gigs allows for a max internal storage of 1 terabyte. A full terabyte in your pocket. Now, for those of us looking to record 4K video on our phone and pretty much never delete anything, this is gonna be an awesome perk. It's awesome for photographers and videographers, especially if you wanna be able to dump it right in your computer without having to plug your phone in. You can drop all that footage and all those photos right on the removable drive. Golden. Now, where those are some of the big ones, the list of other features is honestly just as impressive. IP68 dust and water resistance, dual 12 megapixel rear cameras, one with a variable aperture for better low light performance, and scene optimization via AI recognition, facial recognition that begins to eliminate their need for the rear fingerprint sensor, although I'm honestly glad that they kept it, and despite it being there, I found myself using the facial recognition more than I thought I would. I really like it. It's really good. And last, a new water carbon cooling system, which they say is targeted specifically at gamers. I do have to wonder though if this is really truly driving gaming performance, or if this is a 4,000 milliamp hour battery combustion, public perception. We need to make sure the public feels safe, that this battery at this size is going to be safe. Maybe that's the play here. I don't know, we're gonna have to go in and test to really find out. Either way, the mix of the 2960 by 1440 screen, that octa-core Snapdragon 845 processor, stereo Dolby Atmos speakers, and the cooling system made playing Asphalt 9 really immersive. I could say confidently that as a decade-long Apple fanboy, I'm pretty impressed. Coming in this lavender purple that you've seen here and an ocean blue with a baller yellow S Pen, at price points of $1,000 for the 128 gig and 6 gig of RAM configuration and $1,250 for the larger 512 gig and 8 gig of RAM configuration, this is certainly not a trivial purchase. Now, some may argue that these price points are kind of overboard, but there are tiered offerings in just about every other industry, and it makes sense that there'll be some phones that come in at the higher end of the spectrum and others that come in a bit lower. If price is a major consideration for you, then maybe it's worth taking a look at something like the OnePlus 6, which comes in at a much lower price point but has a really incredible set of features as well. Now with that in mind, price really isn't the biggest gripe for me with this phone. For me, it's the fact that I have incredibly small hands, and a phone of this size, it just makes one-handed use not even feasible. So for me, it kind of rules this phone out. That fact alone leads me to look towards smaller devices, but I really hope that this set of features comes quickly to some smaller phones, possibly from Apple? We'll see. With that being really my only gripe though, that's not much to complain about. I didn't have much time with it. There's a whole lot to test, including battery life, the cameras. Those will all come soon in a full review. All that said, the Note 9's left me in a little bit of a conundrum, wondering if this bank of features are enough to pull me away from the Apple ecosystem, and at this time, simply due to the size, I'd have to say no. Samsung has delivered a very well-crafted refinement in the Note 9, and I'm waiting anxiously for what's right around the corner with the S10.